over a ritual has snowballed into a national flashpoint, the Deepam Row from Madurai. It has no communities at loggerheads, but the state fighting against a devotee wanting to light a simple lamp at a spot he feels is sacred. The spectacular show that Tamil Nadu government has made of this case, whether for their political principles or vote bank as some allege, is now quickly becoming a test case of judicial independence in India. And also, just how much can secularism be twisted? As part of Madras High Court hearing today, the DMK government has questioned the historical basis of the very Deepathon which is at the heart of this case. They have argued that if Hindus want to alter the place of lighting of the lamp, they must first prove that the spot is a lighting post. Never mind that literally nobody else has any objections or can have any objections, and never mind that their own historical record suggests that the lamp had a history of lighting, that post in question. The hearing has now been adjourned to Monday, but the question remains, is this an attempt at rewriting history by the Stalin government? That question and more we'll take to our guests in just a bit. But first up, let's recount the arguments as they played out in Madras High Court earlier today. Advocate General P.S. Raman, appearing for the DMK government, argued in court that Deepam was lit atop the Uchi Pillarayar temple in the Thiruparankunduram hills this year as it has been done over the last 100 years. One individual filed a writ petition insisting on lighting the Deepam in a different place identified by him. He called it a private interest writ petition and not a public interest registration petition. The AG argued that the dispute has given rise to a fundamental question as to whether the Deepathon exists at all, and added that the petitioner must first establish the existence of this Deepathon and that lighting the Deepam on it is a customary practice at all. Further adding that when the temple priest and temple management had clearly said that the Deepam should be lit only at the Uchi Pillarayar temple, the court cannot take a contrary view. In response to some of these arguments, Justice Jayachandran asked what is wrong in changing the place of lighting the Deepam on the hill if it can provide better visibility for people on ground. To this, the AG had replied that this cannot be a parameter to change a customary practice that's been in place for decades altogether. This is the Stalin government's view in court very clearly. But is the government trying to rewrite the Deepathon history? Because we found this book titled Thiruparankunduram, written by sculpture research exponent L.J. Bose, published by the Tamil Nadu Archaeology Department in 1981 by them themselves. It says that the Deepathon, which is a pillar bearing the Deepam, is mentioned in this book. The book talks about a Deepathon en route to the hilltop, built during the era of the Nayakars, declared on the Thun itself as belonging to the Nayakar era. On the Thun, there is a sculpture depicting Hanuman with one of his arms raised and his face facing leftwards. The sculpture has writing saying that lamps can be lit on the Thun. This is what the book says, adding that it is a customary practice for bhakts to light lamps on the Thun during the Kartika. So what is the basis of challenging this historicity now? While the impeachment motion that the opposition moved, they had accused Justice Swaminathan, who had given this order in the first place, of undue favoritism to one senior advocate, Ranganathan, while deciding cases. Now, that lawyer has hit out. He has put out a statement today refuting this claim, saying that what is really at play is the ire of a select few who feel undone by judgments. The opposition claimed that the cases were being decided by Justice Swaminathan on a basis of a particular political ideology. Advocate Ranganathan replied to this charge saying that Justice Swaminathan is just a convenient soft target. Remember, the plea also says or alleges that advocates of a particular community are being favoured by Justice Swaminathan. To this, Advocate Ranganathan, who's been named in this, says the particular community tag is being weaponized to attack judicial independence in this country. In fact, support is growing for Justice Swaminathan from within his own community following that impeachment motion that was moved by the opposition MPs. In a statement of solidarity, 56 ex-judges have penned down a letter voicing their support and opposition to this motion. Former judges called the motion a brazen attempt to browbeat judges who do not fall in line with the ideological and political expectations of a political section of society, and added that if such an attempt is permitted to proceed, it would cut at the very roots of our democracy and the independence of judiciary. It further reads that even if the reasons mentioned by the signatory MPs are to be taken at face value, they are wholly inadequate to justify resorting to such a rare, exceptional and serious constitutional measure as impeachment. The former judges recall that even during the dark period of emergency, then government adopted various mechanisms, including supersessions, to penalize judges who refuse to toe the line. It mentions that the judiciary has stood the test of time and withstood all political pressures. Furthermore, it adds that the present move is not an isolated aberration, but it fits into a clear and deeply troubling pattern in our recent constitutional history, seeking to discredit and intimidate the higher judiciary. They call this an attempt to weaponize impeachment and public calumny as instruments of pressure. The big question we ask today is simply this: is there a bid now to rewrite history as far as the Deepathon Row is concerned? That's coming up with our guests.
One state in India has become a symbol of anti-Sanatan Dharma.
Narayan Tirupati, spokesperson of Tamil Nadu BJP, Salem Dharanidharan, spokesperson of the DMK, to be joining us very shortly. C. Rajashekharan is lawyer and president, Voice of Tamil Nadu, and Harsh Daya is lawyer and political analyst based in Delhi. I want to go across to C. Rajashekharan first up. Is this an attempt to browbeat the judiciary and also alter the history, or what was the believed reality? So far, the Tamil Nadu government hadn't really questioned the fact that there was an ancient Deepathon. They had only maintained the fact that there is no need to light a different lamp when the tradition has been lighting the lamp close to the temple. Today, they are just saying that you have to prove that this pillar is even a Deepathon at all.
Shivani, good evening.
Good evening.
See, let us understand this issue without any bias or without any agenda, neither any affinity towards any religious sentiments and emotions involved. Let us keep aside all our political motives and agendas, and just we have to see this case on merits.
Okay.
See, there is an 100-year practice where there was no issue at all. 75 years before there was a case, and it is a settled law. After that, during late Madam Jayalalitha's regime, there was a writ petition filed, and it was decided, on 2017 that the temple administration and the local authorities will take a decision on where to light the Deepam. So that being the case, there is another division bench order. See, I have nothing personal against the Honorable Judge, Mr. G.R. Swaminathan. With great respect to his wisdom, I would say I really appreciate his ideological commitment and dedication towards the ideology he leans to. Fine.
Okay.
As an advocate, he has all the right, all the moral right and legitimate right to preach, practice, and even follow that ideology openly and brazen it out. But when you take an oath and when you become a judge of a honorable High Court, I would feel, I opine that the judge should have recused himself, or he shouldn't have made any remarks where there are a lot of apprehensions and suspicions arose subsequent to the order. So
no, but in this order, what is the remark? There are no objectionable remarks as far as this order is concerned.
See, there in his order, he has categorically quoted that he had visited, and there is a see. According to the Archaeological Survey of India, the RTI has given a reply that it is just a survey stone, a stone to measure the area, the surroundings. It doesn't have any significance of being a Deepathon. There is no Deepathon which you claim or whoever claims. There is no evidence for that.
Okay.
Point.
No, one
Let
second. This evidence
me
is.
finish.
Sir, one second. This evidence is challenged by others. I know that there is this argument that it was just an observation post and it had no historical or religious relevance. But it is challenged by others who also say that in this book written by L.J. Bose, published by Tamil Nadu Archaeology Department itself in 1981, there is a mention of this Deepathon. There is a mention of the fact that there are inscriptions on this pillar which in a way projected as a lighting place, a lamp lighting place. Now, my question is slightly different.
Shivani,
Mr. Rajashekharan.
you are referring, Shivani, you are referring to one book.
Okay.
There are multiple people, multiple archaeological scientists or whatever you claim. There are multiple other books also which says it
That's
is not
fine,
a
sir.
Deepathon.
I understand that.
So,
But so far,
let us not go into the merits of something which
no, but
doesn't
the
have
government is.
sanctity of law.
But the
No,
government
let us
is
be
going
fair.
into the merit, whether it's a Deepathon or not. That's why I'm discussing this.
No, I'll tell you. I'm not defending the government.
I understand, sir, but we are discussing what the government has said in court today. The government has challenged.
Let me finish. I'm going by the merits of the contempt order, which Honorable Judge Justice G.R. Swaminathan has issued, where he is making a comment which is unsolicited and unrequired. And
sir, let's discuss the matter at hand. That contempt is only part of the story. The real story here and what we are discussing today is what the government's contention in court has been, that there is no historicity attached to the pillar at which this petitioner wants to go and light a lamp. They have even said that this petitioner has no right to do so and no order seeking.
Absolutely.
One second.
Absolutely.
Sir, 1 second.
I would say an individual, if tomorrow as an individual, I say, Tiruvannamalai Deepam, I want to put the lamp in a different place because it was there for 100, 200 years. And I cannot go and file a petition because I belong to one, I say my conviction of my belief is that.
I understand that, sir. Let each matter, whether in your case it is right or wrong.
Has better things to do.
Okay, sir, you have to stop now, please. Please, you've made your point.
Shivani, you should allow me to finish.
Sir, I've given you 3 to 4 minutes. I do not have the luxury of that much time.
Give me 1 more minute. Give me 30 seconds. See, the judge who is dragging another religion unwarrantedly by saying, I am not here to throw up my hands and helplessly cry, oh, Father, forgive them, or they do not know what they are doing. I direct the Chief Secretary and the ADGP. See, this is an unwarranted comment.
Okay, we'll park the unwarranted comments separately, sir. Please don't mix issues. I am discussing very clearly the fact that there is an order. Sir, I cannot conduct it like this. Okay. I just want to go across to Narayan Tirupati, who is also joining us, and Salam Dharadharan is also with us. Narayan Tirupati, what do you make of these arguments that have been made by the government today, saying that, first you prove that this ancient Deepathon that has been mentioned in the petitioner's case is ancient and is Deepathon at all? They have challenged the entire historicity. They have said very clearly, you first have to prove us this was even a lighting lamp.
See, all these issues have been discussed in the court of law. The judge has cleared it. The issue is not that, whether it is a Deepathon or it is a survey stone and all those things. The issue is only one thing. The court has said you have to obey. It's very, very simple. I never thought Rajashekharan has become a judge. Today he has become a judge and he has made the Honorable Justice G.R. Swaminathan as an advocate. So this is the issue. So these people have an ideology and they think that they can abuse anyone, they can comment on anyone at any point of time. See, this is the problem. And Mr. G.R. Swaminathan is not having any ideology. It is Rajashekharan and the Dravida model which has got an ideology to abuse anyone, to comment anyone, to criticize anyone who are not coming into their ideology. They feel that Justice V.R. Swaminathan is doing the right thing for the general public because he has cleared more than 80,000 cases in 7-8 years, and they don't want anything good to happen for the state of Tamil Nadu. Here, what the problem is what? The problem is that nobody is there to oppose. What is actually the lighting of Deepam? The lighting of Deepam is very, very simple. Even in Tiruvannamalai, it is very, very famous. It is also being conducted for a long time. Why they are lighting the Deepam is that the entire village, the entire city or town should see in the top of the hill. Whether what now, this is the practice, this is the culture, and this is the tradition, this is the concept. Whether that is being done at the Thiruparamkundram or not, no, it is not being done because it is done at Uchipillaiyar temple. Nobody can see from outside. Now, this is why that stone was laid there, and that is called as Deepathon. So there is no need to prove because that place is 100% right from 1920s judgment. It is proved that it is the land belonging to the temple.
Exactly. So that brings me to the central issue.
No, Shivani, the matter is very, very simple. The judge has not directed any petitioner to light the lamp there. The judge just ordered the temple management to light it there. Very, very simple. They have not done it. That is why he asked the petitioner to go along with the CASF because police were not prepared. Did anybody object? No. Is there any problem? No. Then why these people are raising the communal issue? Because the model is communal.
No, that brings me to the central issue, Salim Dharanidharan, is that, that land is not under dispute. It is clearly temple land. I don't think now there is any dispute over the land either. There is no opposition to this by any other community. The dargah in question is fine as long as it's 15 meters away from it. That is their own NOC in 2015. So the central question is that what is the objection that the state has? Let's say, I take your argument that there is an attempt by a petitioner to change the custom for the last 100 years. There is a belief, and clearly this belief is on ground, that many believe that there was an ancient pillar on which the lighting used to happen. It didn't happen for 100 years. We want to restart that custom. I want to understand, why are you the aggrieved party here when there is nobody else objecting?
The issue here, when Hindus and Muslims have been cohabiting there and living in harmony for the last 200 years, it is actually one of the examples for the globe, for the whole world, of religious harmony by Hindus and Hindus and Muslims cohabit. In fact, if you go to the foothills of the temple, both there are Muslim shops and Hindu shop. And when the Deepathon is lighted, the Muslims are also present there, and the dargah, the Hindus also go. It's an example, global example of religious harmony. But my question is, who is the petitioner to go and petition on behalf of Hindus? Has the Hindus given them an authority? Who is the RSS to go and speak of Hindus? Who is the BJP to go and speak of Hindus? That is the question here. For example, in Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu has a custom. In Hinduism, each temple is different. Each temple has different culture and practicing norms. So in Tamil Nadu, in certain temples, it is customary to sacrifice goat. Let's say one petitioner saying, I am representing Hindus, goes to the court and says, and bans all the sacrifice of goat. Can it be accepted? Because it's against the culture, it's against the practice of
that here community. The petitioner is not asking you to stop any other practice, sir. Look at the fundamental argument. Here the petitioner's argument is
I think I have not understood the issue well.
One second, sir. No other practice is being stopped. No other community rights are being usurped. You are saying that Hindus and Muslims live harmoniously together. So what I am not understanding is that if this lamp was to be lit 50 meters away from the dargah, it doesn't harm the Muslim community. Why are you making this about the Muslim community at all?
I'm not making it at all. I'm not making it. BJP wanted to make it and create a communal disharmony there.
But you've ended up making it.
You're not letting me speak. See, only if you let me speak, you can understand the issue. The issue is Deepam has been lit in Uchipillaiyar temple for more than 200 years, even before the advent of Justice Party. Why is that? Now we want to change it. What reason? Why? Who is that petitioner? What does he have to do with the temple? Right? Who is he to represent?
But this isn't the first time this petition has come in front of court.
Wait, I'll have to make it very clear. The devotees should decide, the priest should decide, the temple authority should decide. They all wanted to be lit in Uchapalaya temple. Then who is the petitioner?
The
And who
petitioner is the
the
devotee.
other
Yeah?
The
person?
petitioner is the devotee in this case. He has the
He
right to
claims
go to
himself. He doesn't
court.
represent the devotee. Anyone can claim himself a devotee.
Yes,
That's the whole
anyone
problem.
can. That is
Yes,
how.
anyone
Are you going
That's
to
what the
test
law
people
prescribes.
now?
You should read the
Majority
law.
rule.
Are you
Okay,
going to
that's what I
test
asked you a
people
question.
whether they are a
Fine,
true devotee
then
or not?
Then you ask me this question. Simple
Huh.
question. There is goat sacrifice in temples in Tamil Nadu. If
Okay.
someone goes and files a petition, that it should be banned. I'm
Sir,
saying
I answered that question.
The
No.
court will
it
decide.
has nothing to
The
do with the
court will
temple.
decide.
The petitioner
First
has
of-
nothing to do with the temple.
First of all, Salim, I don't think it's a correct analogy because
The
here
petitioner
no
has
other
nothing to do.
practice is being asked to be stopped. The fundamental issue is that here he is not saying stop this or stop that. He is not interfering in anyone else's practice or rights. He is only saying my belief is that this ancient lighting pillar should have a lamp. I want to do so. The fundamental question here is it affects nobody else. The Tamil Nadu government only is standing in way of
Yeah,
this. And today, I want to ask you a question about this. Today, you are saying, prove to us that there was even a lighting lamp or a post. Prove to us that it existed. Prove to us why you want to light it there. What was the practice? But this was not your argument earlier. This was not the argument in 2017, not in 2015. It was not the argument 75 years ago. So it seems like you've cooked up this argument to delay somebody's right.
No. You're not letting me speak. I think you speak more than I speak.
Go
But anyway,
ahead. I'll give you
90
full 1.5 minutes. I'll count it on my phone. Go ahead.
96, 2014, 2017 verdicts have clearly said temple authorities will decide where it should be lit. Even in 1920s, it was only about the temple belongs to Hindus except for the 0.33 acres that belongs to the Dargah. But the point is not that. The point is where should the Deepam be lit? When the Hindus who are going there have no problem, when Muslims have no problem, the priests have no problem, authorities have no problem, then what is the problem? Is the problem here? Because you want to say that no, it should be only it should be celebrated at the rooftop. And again, G.S. Swaminathan's verdict itself, para 7 and para 40 contradict. Para 7 says in 2005 they have no objection, and it says in para 40 it says that this will result in communal disharmony. They have disagreed. It is there. You can see the judgment. Para 7, para 40. The verdict of G.S. Swaminathan is contradicting. In one place he's saying they have no objection. Other place he's saying they have objected. That is very clear.
Okay.
Even AIADMK, BJP's alliance partners, point clear, have told the customary practice should continue. DMK plus ADMK vote share is 90%, which is parties representing 90% of the people are saying no because 90% of Tamil Nadu population does not want no. We are merely representative of people of Tamil Nadu, right? As a politician, as an elected government, who do we represent? Who do the MLAs represent? Right? They
So,
represent the people
are you
who
suggesting that if somebody hasn't voted for you, they don't have legal
I'm not
rights in
saying
the
that,
state
I'm
of
not
Tamil
saying that.
Nadu?
You are making completely a wrong argument. I am saying
You are
the
making that
majority view of the
argument.
people. Majority view of people of Tamil Nadu is that the customary practice should continue.
Huh.
That is all I am saying.
But in
No, I
this,
didn't
sir,
say anything else.
Salim Narayan,
The
you have
judgment
made
is
this
customary
argument
practice
in
is
the past as
lighting
well.
the lamp.
Salim, let me come in here. Narayan sir, just one second. You've made this argument in the past here that majority people have voted for us, so we should get to decide whether this is okay or not okay. First of all, that's not how judicial courts function. It doesn't function on the basis of how many people have voted for the current government. Now, tomorrow, if this argument was to be extended to other states of this country, was to be extended at the national level, would it be okay? Legal disputes cannot be solved like this. That majority voted for us, majority feels like this. It is every single citizen's right that has to be protected. But you didn't answer my central question.
No, I'm asking. I'm telling
You, sir, you didn't answer my central question. The land is not in
Devani.
dispute.
That is why I'm saying there is
no
dispute.
other
BJP is creating the
party.
dispute, the media is creating the dispute. That's what I'm
But
saying.
you are preempting that a
Devani.
dispute would have been created. But on what
Basic
ground?
Basic
Should
civics.
Muslims who have a dargah there have a problem if the Deepathon is lit 50 meters away from the dargah? Is this fair? Should they have a problem?
Who is the others to decide? It is the devotees and the temple authorities will decide representing the devotees. The temple authorities have chosen has been a customary practice.
Temple
I will
authority,
tell you-
sir, is a government
Who is the temple
You are
department.
not letting me speak. If you speak, then I will not speak. I am saying basic civics in democracy.
Who is temple
the
authority?
people elect their representatives. The representatives in turn select the chief minister. So the voice of the chief minister, the voice of the MLAs are nothing but voice of the people. As simple as that.
Then why
The
have
voice
courts at
of
all?
the
Let the
people.
MLAs and the
Okay,
CM decide.
Yes,
BJP is
I think Harsh
alliance
also
with
wants to
ADMK.
come in.
So,
Okay,
AJ,
okay.
Devani, so
ADMK.
Salem.
Okay, yes,
Salem
Narayan
is
Tirupati, then Harsh. Narayan Tirupati.
I think the Salem Dharanidharan and the DMK wants to close all the courts in Tamil Nadu, and they will also claim that the chief minister is a judge, and their ministers are magistrates. That is what they are trying to do. That is why in a judgment, Justice Anand Venkatesh very clearly said that they have been influencing the courts, and they have changed the judicial trial to some other courts to get those ministers, from escaping from conviction, to get them acquitted. So this DMK people don't have any moral right to talk about judiciary. My thing is only one thing. What is your duty is to obey the court's order. If you are not in a position, you have to go to the higher court on an appeal. Even in the appeal, your application got dismissed. So it is your duty bound. You are as a chief minister, as a constitutional authority who has taken oath in the name of constitution, you are duty bound to obey the law, to obey the court.
Can I just mention in this case?
How can you say?
In this case, the temple authority is not an independent temple authority. Let's not forget that. It's a government department. So don't say temple authority. The temple authority is government department. That is the view of the government. It's not the view of an independent temple authority. Yes. Salem, I'll give you 30 seconds then Harsh.
HRMC was introduced during the time of British era itself to manage the temple. Who does the temple belong to? Not a problem. It's an independent organization. Okay, I have a question. The first impeachment proceeding in independent India was started by BJP against Supreme Court Justice 91 and again 2013, 2014, 2007. So what happened with respect to judiciary then? Why did the BJP?
But what was the basis of that impeachment motion? It was corruption.
That people will decide. The basis will be decided in the parliament by the people.
Okay. No, I am not getting into that. Sir, one second. I am not discussing your right to go for impeachment motion and the merit of the impeachment.
Problem here? I don't understand the problem.
I'm asking you the problem. No, the problem is that you have decided that this petitioner is not a devotee. You said, who is he to ask for this, right? You've decided he is not a devotee. You have decided that 90% of Hindus don't want it. How you have decided?
You should do a job of anchor and not BJP.
But sir, I gave you time.
Let me speak. You can ask me questions, but not give rebuttals like
you said you're not understanding the problem. I am espousing the problem to you.
I am saying the problem is very simple. It is a job of the legislature to check the judiciary. It's a job of the judiciary to check the legislature and the executive. Here, the justice is acted in a partisan manner as an ideological bias.
Okay.
Can anyone with ideological bias and who acts in a partisan manner discriminate based on caste, creed, and culture? Can he be a judge? Can he judge? Can he give a justice without any partiality, impartiality?
The merit of that impeachment motion will be decided. Today I am discussing what the stand of the government is. Now today challenging in court, one, what is the need to change the customary practice after 100 years? Can that be a legal basis? For whatever reason, let's say, for 100 years a practice has stopped. Do you feel that anybody, whether it's a religious issue or otherwise, that nobody can then go to court or to the government to say, no, let's restart this practice? The fact that it hasn't happened for 100 years is not an argument to never restart it, first of all, fundamentally. Secondly, you've questioned the basis of, what's the historicity of this Deepathon. Is this a bid to rewrite history? Because it wasn't a contested fact so far. Harsh.
Shivani, let me put this straight first, that this is not 100 or 200 years old practice. This is 2000 years old practice, which has been, written in so many books, so many other inscriptions have that. And my friend who is laughing, Mr. Rajashekhar, I wish he was brave enough to accept that he belongs to the DMK ideology before he started speaking and started giving out certificates to judges.
No.
DMK, sir, let me finish. You can take out your frustration later on. Let me finish, sir, please. Shivani, the message of the opposition is clear, that Hindus cannot profess their faith in this particular country, and one particular religion will get veto over Hindus every time they try to profess their faith. As simple as that. In 1947, India was divided on Islamic lines, where the Muslims got two nations, which is Pakistan and Bangladesh, and in India, they got special rights. And let me put it straight as well, that it is not the Muslims who have a problem with this particular issue. It is the political parties that want to use Muslim as vote bank those who have a issue with this particular judgment. I have not seen even a single nationalist Muslim coming on TV and saying that, this lamp should not be lit on that particular hill. Nobody has a problem with it. The only people that have a problem with this particular thing is the India Alliance, which is
Hey,
Congress
Sanjay, I have never been to Tamil Nadu. It's like,
and Shiv Sena of Uddhav Thackeray, because they want to radicalize a section of the society. They want to portray that their tradition or their faith is in danger, and they want to consolidate that particular vote bank
Okay.
and get it
Tamil
to
Nadu
them.
people.
As simple as that.
What?
Harsh,
And
what I'm also reminded of today, and I think people have drawn this analogy correctly, is that there is a difference in which secularism, quote unquote, is espoused by certain parties in India. When it came to the Waqf Act and when it came to the provision of Waqf by user, even though you don't have property rights, you don't have property documents, just on the basis that for 30, 40 years, some property was, declared or used as waqf, which is that it was used for religious or charitable reasons, it was enough to declare that property waqf. Opposition had no problem with that. But today they are saying that there was a 100-year-old pillar, 100 years ago maybe that pillar was lit, but it hasn't been lit for 100 years. So today you have to prove us your
2,000-year-old practice. 2,000-year-old practice.
So
not
why
100.
this discrepancy in how you look at Hindu rituals, Hindu faith? Let's say it is the devotee's faith that this was sacred, this was a sacred lamp, and it hurts nobody else. I still keep asking, who is this hurting? Is this creating any legal boundary for anybody else? No. Then why this difference in the way you treat religious rights for any other community versus the Hindus? This case has become a test example of that.
This
Harsh
is not
first.
Shivani.
I'll come to you, sir.
Shivani,
Sir, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, I'll come to you. Harsh, 30 seconds.
Shivani.
Sir, after that,
Shivani,
Harsh only.
Shivani, there is one question that needs to be asked. Wherever there are Hindu temples, why do dargahs appear in those places itself? The question should not be on the lamp and the pole that they are talking about. The question should be on the 100-year-old dargah. How did it come up on a sacred place of Hindus? That hill is sacred
built
for
by a
Hindus. It is part of the Hindu tradition from last 2000 years. Where did it come from? And why only sacred places of Hindus are targeted and these dargahs come up overnight? I've seen in Delhi, wherein like a road is constructed and 2 years later we find that a dargah has come up over there. Like who was praying over there and who constructed that particular dargah in middle
No,
of the
it
road?
is
The road has
known that
already been
Sikandar,
constructed.
that it is named after the one-time ruler of Madurai. He went up to the hill and it was spent his last
conquered-
days in that spot, which is
killed
why
a
the
lot of
dargah
Hindus.
was. Yeah, no, again, I can't go into his antecedents. That's a separate matter, his character or his actions. But that was the history of this dargah. I'm saying, let's say the dargah exists. There is no problem. There's demarcation of what is dargah land. There is demarcation of what is Hindu land or temple land.
This land
Deepam
belongs to
is
Hindus.
on temple land. There is no land claim. There is no community at loggerheads. Why make this case some sort of a testament to your secularism? There is no test of
And Muslims
secularism.
do not
here.
have a problem, surprisingly.
Okay, C. Rajashekharan, 30 seconds, sir. I have to take final comments.
Shivani, see, the BJP has no stakes in Tamil Nadu. Now they have caught hold of this temple issue, this Tiruparankundram Hill temple issue, and they are trying their maximum to blow it out of proportion. And you guys are supporting this issue without knowing the consequences and the impact the people of Tamil Nadu are going to give it back. Because, see, I'll tell you. Yeah, I can hear you. See, I'll tell you, in Tirupati, next you will go to Tirupati. Again, you will come to Tiruvannamalai. So, this is a scheme being played out by BJP to politicize and polarize the votes. It is not the Hindus, Muslims, Christians are happy living together.
Okay, I take your point, but we are first of all discussing this issue because an impeachment of a judge has been moved, and I think it is fair enough for the media to cover this issue because it has led to the motion being moved of impeachment, which is a rarity in any case. Secondly, this case has only become big because the government refused to follow a court order, went to the High Court, did not get relief, then tried to go to the Supreme Court, did not get the listing. So please don't put it on us.
The
stakes
judge,
have been escalated by those on ground, not by the media.
No, I'll tell you. Shivani, the judge, in discussion, the conversation which we are now going on in this debate, the judge in question should have recused from hearing this matter because there is a division bench order earlier.
Okay,
So
all
judge
right. I
has
take your
shown
view, sir. I take your view. I have to
properly.
take final comments from Narayan Tirupati. Sir, 30 seconds and then Salim last.
See, Shivani, after that, it went to the division bench also. Two judges upheld the same judgment. And for your information, these people, no, every time, suddenly Kanimuri came and said that is only a survey stone. Now today, Rajasekhar says, ASA has given some certificate. Where did ASA give? It is not ASA site. Without ASA site, how ASA site can say that it is not Deepathon. So these people are trying to create WhatsApp messages, trying to bring their own imaginations, and they are doing.
Okay.
It is very clear, Shivani. Only two things. Number one, it is appeasement of minorities. Number two, DMK and its allies are known for anti-Brahmin thing. And they want to target this judge because he is a Brahmin, and also he has given a verdict in favor of Hindus.
Okay, he has espoused Hindu ideology. Salim.
No.
The
This is
DMK
not.
party is not
This
against
comment
any
is very.
religions. It only looks for equality. For example, my Advocate General of my government is a Brahmin appointed by the DMK government. So we are not against. But
when you can go and say the Supreme Court that this man is supporting Brahmin,
I didn't interrupt in your time.
All the right
I didn't interrupt you during my.
Let him speak. Salim only.
See, my timing
30
is unfair,
seconds.
Shivani. So basically, there can't be any minority appeasement in Tamil Nadu because we don't see people as minority and majorities. It is only the Tamil identity. Hindus, Muslims, and Christians, they're all the same. If you grow up in Tamil Nadu, you know it. If I require the Harish to come and stay in Tamil Nadu for a month and see how harmoniously we live in Tamil Nadu, it may look very alien to them because probably where he grows up, the hate speech is appreciated here. It is completely about. The Hindus celebrate Muslim festivals, Muslims celebrate Hindu festivals. That's how I grew up.
Okay.
Right? Though my mother and father are both devout Hindus, but we used to celebrate Christmas and Ramzan. And we never learned to discern.
Which is why I was wondering why you were so worried that this case, just lighting of that lamp will somehow inflame communal passions, despite the fact that Tamil Nadu is the land of great communal harmony.
As a president, because BJP as a president, what happened in 90s North India, Ayodhya was raped, communal disharmony.
Okay. Are you giving them too much credit by suggesting that they can do in Tamil Nadu what they managed in Uttar Pradesh?
I'm not giving them credit. I don't want communal disharmony and tens of thousands of people should die like they did in Uttar Pradesh.
I have to move on. I do thank you, both, all of our guests, for joining us. In the wake of the massive disruption in Indigo's flight operations last week, India's aviation regulator DGCA has sacked 4 flight operations inspectors who were responsible for oversight on Indigo and the airline's preparation for the new pilot test and duty duration rules. These FOIs, as they're known, engaged with the DGCA on contract basis, have been relieved with immediate effect to join their respective parent organizations as per the DGCA. But this is again raising the question if the top brass is going scot-free for what has been the biggest man-made crisis in Indian skies. What is the accountability of the ministry, the DGCA top brass, and of course the Indigo top management? In terms of action, here's what has happened so far. Indigo has been asked to submit report on cancellations and impact and aftermath, an update on status of refunds processed and future procedure. Airline has been asked to present recruitment plan for pilots and crew. 8-member DGCA team has been stationed at Indigo's corporate office, and 4 flight safety operations and compliance officials have been sacked. But is this enough? A mere 10% curtailment of flight operations, just 10,000 rupee vouchers as compensation to passengers, and no action on DGCA or Indigo top brass are the big fish going scot-free as it happens case after case in India. That's a big question. Joining us is a special guest. What about the DGCA top brass? J.S. Rawat is former Joint Director of DGCA. Would it be correct to say, Mr. Rawat, that the big fish are going scot-free? What about top accountability?
The question is the person responsible in the DGCA who can take the action. They have already initiated the action, whatever in their purview. With the DGCA they have called the CEO of the airlines, all those kind of things. Release of the this FOIs who are looking after the Indigo. So these are indication they can take that action against these people. They have already started the action process for that. You talk about the big fish. The big fish, then you have to say that the bigger fish has to take the action against the big fish. So you have to wait for some time.
But do you believe that at the very, very top hierarchy of the DGCA, and I'm not going to spare the ministry here either, because both are responsible for ensuring that something like this, because this was a clear man-made crisis, right? Something like this should not happen. This wasn't because of weather alone. This wasn't because of a volcano erupting somewhere in the world. This was only because one airline was badly ill-prepared, but also those who were supposed to do oversight also didn't do enough of their job.
You are right that, but whatever is that, whenever somebody has to take action against anybody, now there is a principle of natural justice. Then opportunity has to be given. What you want to put up issues, which already DGC has done in this present case by asking the statement of the CEO and all. So, if the matter is escalated because the minister has already notified that there is a committee which has been established to look into the things. When the committee report comes, the DGCA will, whosoever ministry or government, whosoever want to take the action, they will then initiate the action accordingly.
But sir, you've been part of the DGCA. I'll come to the larger issues that are being raised against this body and its overhaul in just a bit. Don't you think that the top hierarchy of the DGCA should be responsible morally? The fact that under their nose, this entire thing went into such a chaos, the rules that were notified 1.5 years earlier?
So this has been discussed many times that when this CR was implemented with the High Court order, and High Court has established that these are implementation dates, which were known to everyone, to the Indigo, to as well as the regulator also. So now the person that the authorities have to see who has that fault. Indigo is definitely one of the Indigo is definitely at the fault because they have implemented, and even then they have asked for the higher schedule for the winter, higher number of the flights for the winter schedule. They have already done that. So how the DGCA could not monitor it, the preparedness of the Indigo, that has to be seen, and that I think the committee which has been established by the government that will look into these facts.
Let's see if this becomes one more case where, you know, the top hierarchy faces no action. There's going to be action on some junior level officials or employees, because I'm talking not just about, you know, direct accountability. I'm talking about moral accountability when you're sitting in such positions. But I come to the other question that everybody is discussing, Mr. Rawat. What is wrong with the DGCA? Do you think there are structural, institutional issues? Somebody has mentioned, for example, that it's heavily understaffed, and others have mentioned that you don't have industry expert as its head, for example, currently. Do you think it needs a complete overhaul?
Now, you just mentioned that four FY have been sent back to their they were industry expert. They were the industry expert which are supporting the DGCA in this flight operations directorate. So DGCA is the staff, have the staff for this kind of this technical staff which are looking after the flying aspect and pilot this thing. So that is already there, and as the question is that DGCA is also growing with the pace, the way the industry is also increasing. So now you must have heard that DGCA has already sanctioned number of the posts. They had done the recruitment. I was looking at the recruitment, mail or something, that now more than 120 assistant director of operation have been selected. Now because you have to say, because the government process that you have to identify the how many number you want, then you have to make the recruitment rule. Sometimes you have to do the amendment in the recruitment rule, and then you have to go to the UPSC for selecting the persons. After selecting the person, also it takes 2 to 3 months for the maximum 2 for their appointment. So this is a continuous process basically.
As far as this particular episode is concerned, Mr. Rawat, what do you think it would have taught the DGCA? Because it is ultimately the watchdog. It has to do this monitoring. It was trying to do its monitoring. The ministry has said that 2 days before this chaos broke out, we did meet Indigo, and Indigo did not intimate us that there was any problem at their end. But what do you think are the lessons for the DGCA here after this episode?
For the DGCA now, what has happened, actually, we have to see the thing, how the things have moved. So the thing is that DGCA is basically, in this case, what I have been observing, that they should have reviewed the progress of the implementation by the Indigo. I'm sure that they have done with all the airlines, and same they must have done for the Indigo. But what I can understand, that Indigo was saying that they are well prepared for that,
Yes.
which was not the case basically. So the thing is that either DGCA at that point of time to go and do the introspection with the
Okay.
Indigo, that they are prepared or not, or take their words, yes, we are prepared.
Okay. All right. Maybe some lessons and some understanding for the future as far as the DGCA, the aviation watchdog, is concerned. J.S. Rawat, I do thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we leave you with all you need to know about the new anti-hate speech bill tabled in Karnataka Assembly and why it is making everyone nervous. Thanks a lot. For decades, India has grappled with a chilling question. How do you stop hate speech without murdering free speech? Our central laws have been criticized as too fragmented, too weak, and often too slow to tackle communal, caste, and gender-based hate, especially online. And in a society where everything is political or fuel for politics, most action either comes as a knee-jerk reaction or selective in nature. And amidst this raging debate, Congress government in Karnataka has tabled the Hate Speech and Hate Crimes Prevention Bill 2025. It is India's first standalone state law attempting to define, penalize and prevent hate speech with unprecedented rigor. The bill proposes jail terms of up to 10 years for repeat offenders, makes offence non-bailable and introduces sweeping powers to remove online content. The government argues this is a necessary surgical strike, a legislative shield to protect vulnerable citizens. But as one has seen in the past with now repealed Section 66A of the IT Act, any such tool in the hands of any government can quickly become the very poison it aims to root out. Critics warn this bill is not a shield, it's a sword. This bill once again runs the risk of a government settling political scores with not just political opponents but even media and activists and ordinary people professing a certain view and members of organizations the state dislikes. Criticism, political satire, dissent, the state can barely be made a judge in these matters. And do we need another such law when existing provisions suffice? So will this bill curb hate or will it simply turn Karnataka into a police state? So how has the Congress government defined hate speech? Hate speech is defined as expressions intended to cause harm or animosity based on certain protected categories. These categories include animosity or harm directed against individuals or groups based on their religion, race, caste, sex, gender, sexual orientation, place of birth, residence, language, disability, or tribe. The act of hate speech is committed by making, publishing, circulating, or promoting such content. It also includes inciting, abetting, or attempting to engage in such speech. But some of the points in the bill have sparked a massive debate and have become a bone of contention. Critics argue that key terms used to define the offence, such as injury, disharmony, feelings of enmity or hatred, and ill will, are subjective and vague, risking arbitrary use. A major criticism of the bill is that it criminalizes speech even if there's no direct evidence that it has led to violence. Penalties of up to 10 years and the classification of the offences as cognizable and non-bailable have been criticised as disproportionate and excessive. In any case, process can be a punishment with Indian legal system. The bill makes organizations collectively liable for hate speech, so leaders can be punished even without direct involvement, raising concerns if it could be used to target the media, NGOs or civil society groups. The state claims that central law lacks a clear definition of hate speech, but the new law overlaps with sections of the BNS and the IT Act, raising constitutional concerns. There are also some exemptions that have been provided in the bill if in such cases hate is not advocated or harm caused. These include things like bona fide artistic expression, scientific or academic inquiry, fair and accurate reporting or commentary, and espousing religious belief or tenet. India already has laws against hate speech. So why did the Karnataka government feel we needed a new one? The most frequently invoked provision is Section 196, which is the successor to Section 153A of the Indian Penal Code. It penalizes promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, etc., and doing acts prejudicial to maintenance of harmony. The other BNS provision often used to deal with hate speech is Section 299, which penalizes deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings of any class by insulting its religion or religious beliefs. It is similar to Section 295A of the IPC. Further, Section 353 of the BNS penalizes statements or false information that may induce or incite someone to commit offences against the state or a community or disturb public order. Just to further add that each of these offences is cognizable, police can arrest without a warrant and it carries a punishment of up to 3 years. Also a reminder here to the Congress especially of a section that it was forced to roll back. Section 66A of the IT Act 2000 criminalized sending offensive messages online through email, social media or other electronic means. It became notorious because the law was vague, overbroad and prone to misuse, ultimately leading to its striking down by the Supreme Court in 2015 for violating Freedom of Speech Article 19(1)A. Here are some of the examples, particularly from year 2012. 2 women were arrested in Palghar in Mumbai for a Facebook post merely criticizing a citywide shutdown following a political leader's death. The very famous case of cartoonist Asim Trivedi, who was arrested for political cartoons, the charge of sedition was also applied against him. Ravi Srinivasan became the first Indian case arrested for a tweet in which he had commented on the wealth of politician Karti Chidambaram. Professor and aged neighbour were arrested in Bengal at night for sharing an email containing a cartoon critical of Mamata Banerjee. So is this new bill that is being proposed in Karnataka merely a reminder of what has already transpired in India?
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Narayan Tirupati, spokesperson of Tamil Nadu BJP, Salem Dharanidharan, spokesperson of the DMK, to be joining us very shortly. C. Rajashekharan is lawyer and president, Voice of Tamil Nadu, and Harsh Daya is lawyer and political analyst based in Delhi. I want to go across to C. Rajashekharan first up. Is this an attempt to browbeat the judiciary and also alter the history, or what was the believed reality? So far, the Tamil Nadu government hadn't really questioned the fact that there was an ancient Deepathon. They had only maintained the fact that there is no need to light a different lamp when the tradition has been lighting the lamp close to the temple. Today, they are just saying that you have to prove that this pillar is even a Deepathon at all.
Shivani, good evening.
Good evening.
See, let us understand this issue without any bias or without any agenda, neither any affinity towards any religious sentiments and emotions involved. Let us keep aside all our political motives and agendas, and just we have to see this case on merits.
Okay.
See, there is an 100-year practice where there was no issue at all. 75 years before there was a case, and it is a settled law. After that, during late Madam Jayalalitha's regime, there was a writ petition filed, and it was decided on 2017 that the temple administration and the local authorities will take a decision on where to light the Deepam. So that being the case, there is another division bench order. See, I have nothing personal against the Honorable Judge, Mr. G.R. Swaminathan. With great respect to his wisdom, I would say I really appreciate his ideological commitment and dedication towards the ideology he leans to. Fine.
Okay.
As an advocate, he has all the right, all the moral right and legitimate right to preach, practice, and even follow that ideology openly and brazen it out. But when you take an oath and when you become a judge of a honorable High Court, I would feel, I opine that the judge should have recused himself, or he shouldn't have made any remarks where there are a lot of apprehensions and suspicions arose subsequent to the order.
No, but in this order, what is the remark? There are no objectionable remarks as far as this order is concerned.